Check, check, 1, 2. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Just getting set up here. How's the audio? Everything good? Increase the gain here a little bit. Right. There we go. I gotta keep doing this because it keeps opening up off screen. Alrighty. What are we doing here? Desktop. I'm doing okay. Leg is healing. I'm a little tired. I was up really late, so I slept in big time. So I'm actually just having breakfast now. And the dog, he's doing all right too. He had a little bit of a little weird puking episode this morning, but nothing crazy. Just a little puke. Hopefully he's doing fine otherwise. You know. Yeah. Degrees for Texas, man. Whew. Yeah, thanks. Do I have a personal channel? Yeah, it's Daniel Lion Arts at YouTube, or on YouTube. Sorry, I'm still like discombobulated. And I will be planning to stream. I'm gonna try to do something this week for once. Because I've been meaning to start doing that, and it's just been on my to-do list for a long time because I have a lot of other things going. Man. Yeah, so yeah, we got a light crowd. We had like 41, I think, when I first started. Then it went down a little bit, but whatever. Come back in. But yeah, if you want to find me on YouTube, it's just this is my username. That's me on YouTube. '92 in South Florida. It's like summer or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're in summer. My work is crazy good. Thanks, man. I hope people like it. You know, there's always someone better, but I try. Thank you. Just trying to up my game. If anyone knows Unreal, by the way, really well, I might have a question or two for you because I've been trying to render something out in there and jump it into a scene that they released from Quixel. It's this awesome the goddess temple. I was trying to put some stuff in there, and it's just coming in dark when I hit the play button. It just gets it's dark. It's not, maybe like GI is not on or something. It looks like that, but I don't know. So if anyone knows Unreal 425.3, it's a new one. If anyone knows that well and would be willing to give me some pointers toward the end, that'd be awesome. I'll check in again with the crowd later. Maybe someone will come in that knows Unreal better later on. Let's just fix a few things here. I'm kind of crowding this space a little bit. Let's drink me. Okay. So I think last time I was working on the stuff here and the sort of the feeling of debris and whatnot. Yeah, I mean it's Unreal is it's the new thing, right? And it's not going anywhere. I think if anything, it's just going to be increasing in demand for people to know it. So I figured it's been something I've been meaning to get more serious about for a while, and I finally have been. Um, and I've been dabbling in things here and there in it before, and I was working in it a bit um, when I was at the startup I was at, but mostly I was working on ZBrush and then just handing off stuff for people to import into it and work in it. So I was learning a little bit of it then, but I think it's kind of important that I get more serious about it now. So I'm doing my whole short film in it, so I might as well, get apt. So. What do I think about Keyshot? Keyshot's nice. I was actually trying to do something else in there, and certain materials weren't working for me. Real cloth, in particular, just is not. It's not liking anything I bring in from ZBrush or anywhere. Apparently, it just was like, there's no UVs, and there are UVs, and yet the material is saying there is none. And I'm like, I'm looking at the UVs. I don't know. I don't know what's up with Keyshot, but if anyone from Luxion's out there, we got to. You guys got to sort out whatever's going on with Keyshot and Real Cloth, because it's not liking it. It's a pretty big fumble, I think. Considering, ZBrush just announced their cloth sim, and people are going to be trying to render stuff in there, and it's not complying. Alright, so is this still with Dynamesh on? I forget. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. There we go. Alrighty. When does it get into it now? Real 5 isn't hard. Yep. Keep seeing those Quixel results. Gotta Scene is nice. Yeah, it is. Have you used the Gotta Scene at all? Do we use Mari? Not much. I started using it a little bit a while ago back at Pixelmondo when I was there. But honestly, I don't really like it that much. I'll be honest. Like, I just don't really like the interface. It just doesn't. It's not my thing. I like. Hey, no. You want a treat? You gotta stop barking if you want a treat. Sorry, I think someone's like outside. I'll give you a treat in a little bit. Lay down. Can't promise anything and not give it to him. Yeah, I've been dabbling in Marvelous Designer too, but it's now seeing what ZBrush is doing. I'm like, maybe I won't get that serious into Marvelous. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I still got to work with Marvelous a little more though. I think before I can make a hard call and being like, I don't need it anymore. I've really got to spend some time in it and learn it too. But I have it. I've dabbled in it too, but I need to get more serious about it. Yeah, Mari, I'm just not a fan of. I just don't like the UI. I don't like how it works. It's good for what it does, but it's just there's certain levels of restriction. I like Substance better, and I've been working with Mixer actually. I've been doing some stuff in Mixer and from Quixel, and I like it. I got some nice results on a character that I'll be revealing eventually here. Got some great texture work on all kinds of different assets for it. Excuse me while I eat some toast. So yeah, I like Mixer. I like Substance. Mari, Plus Mari's like super draining on your system. Like, it just tanks your system. The workflow is pretty simple in comparison to other renders out there. You heard the render is simple for what? You mean for Keyshot or what? Yeah, Keyshot's pretty simple. Well, I'll be doing tutorials. I don't know. I don't think I know Mixer that well yet. I don't know that I'll be doing tutorials. I've just been learning it kind of and working with it. I mean, I got some nice results, but it was kind of just from like, I think it's a pretty user friendly, you know, intuitive interface. That's what I liked about it, was that for me, it wasn't hard to like, once you've known Substance, if you get into Mixer, it's like, it's lacking a bunch of stuff. It's still definitely, it's a beta, so it definitely does feel like, it definitely doesn't feel as fully fleshed out as Substance, but I was still able to get good results quickly, which was nice. So that's what makes me think that Substance is still probably, I would say, the king for now when it comes to texturing and working on all that. And they just updated it so you can do across UDIMs now, I think, which is huge. I haven't used that yet, only because lately I haven't needed to create a bunch of UDIMs, but I've worked in UDIMs before, many a time, on previous projects at different studios. So yeah, it's a huge step forward for Substance to be able to paint across UDIMs. That's tremendous. Yeah, so there's, you know, it's like there's almost never ever like one tool for the job. I mean, it's like you can always find alternatives, or certain programs might do certain things better than others. It really just depends, you know. So after a while too, like certain ones, they kind of are similar enough where it's like you can just kind of pick and choose which one you want to do, and then just, you know, use that one. So I would say that's kind of what it's like between Mari, Substance. I'd say Mixer's a little bit behind, but still, I mean, it's like anything. I think if you're a decent artist and you know what you want, you can usually, if the tool's half competent, which of course Mixer is and others, you can get some pretty good results from, you know, multiple programs. It's just a matter of which one you like better, and yeah. Yeah, Mixer is basically a PBR texturing editing tool, and also lets you bake out maps. So it's a lot like Substance, but I would say not as just fully featured. It's like it just feels a little bit more simplistic. And the UI is very simplistic too, and certain things I think could be improved. And it acted buggy when I brought in a pretty high poly character and I was working on it for a while. It was like it would start stuttering and like be on screen and then like let you almost click through it. So you're clicking on something behind it. You've had an image behind it or something. It would click to that, and then you'd have to bring it back. I'm not sure if that was a Windows issue or what, but I've never had that happen with any other program. And my PC is still pretty new, so I think it's pretty sure it's the beta of Mixer. But still, I mean, it got the job done for what I was trying to do. So that's cool. So yeah, check it out. It's free. I mean, you can't beat free, right? Should we down mesh this? Is it Paul Oakenfoot still on Sundays? I'm listening to Oliver Harper right now. It's kind of like on his label. It's on Oakenfold's label of Planet Perfecto. It's Perfecto Black Radio is the stream I'm listening to right now. Pretty good stuff. It's a little bit more progressive, a little bit longer As far as just the songs, I don't think it has probably as many packed in. But if you would like to listen, I think it's the same one I was listening to last week actually, because today, I think later today is when they drop the new stream. So the new recording. So if you want to listen to that, if you didn't listen to it last week, it's good stuff. Or you can look to see what that branches into. You know, there's a bunch of other episodes, of course, older and previous, and other channels that are similar. But that's what I'm listening to right now. I don't know. It started from, I think, back when I was in university, and I would go into the Mac lab, and back when we had like Mac labs and sort of PC labs. You know, they would really segregate stuff. I'm not sure if they still do that now in universities, probably, or maybe they just have. I don't know. Anyway, I would go into the Mac lab and mess around with Photoshop, and that's when I started dabbling. When I was considering, I think it was my sophomore year, or maybe it was my freshman year. I don't remember, but maybe it was my junior year. Yeah, it was my junior year, yeah, because that's when I actually officially double majored. But pardon me. Yeah, I guess it was my junior year. But I started really just spending a lot of time after courses. Like the science building is right next to the art building, actually. So I'd leave SciTech and Sciences and Technology building and walk into the art building, and there I would just have fun. That was like my release from the hard sciences, and just fun, just play. And I would just ask people, you know, well, how do you do this in Photoshop, or how do you do that? You know, just straight up just be like, oh wait, how do you do this? You know, I would just ask out to the room sometimes, because all of us were just talking about different things, or they'd be yelling across the room talking about whatever. But the undercurrent music they always have pumping out was like decent techno, like really cool long progressive mixes, long house and trance mixes. And I love dance music. I love house and trance a lot. So for me, that was like, this was heaven. You know, it was digital art pumping out great music. It was just great. It was just fun. It was very chill and friendly and creative, and you know, it was just fun. It was just, everyone was on the same page. Let's have some fun creating art, and that's it. I found that just for me too, it's like when you have long mixes, or just, you know, because like other pieces of music will just end in 3 minutes or 5 minutes, or, you know, even if you have like a long like rock opera kind of sound, it might go for 10 minutes or something, but then that's it, right? It ends kind of soonish. And you know, techno, certain mixes, you can just go, I mean, they just blend beautifully into the next song and the next song, so it just has this great progression that a lot of other music just can't sustain. And yeah, I love electronic music, so it's always fun to find new good stuff. So I'm just getting some of my levels right here, audio wise, for moi. Any other electronic band artists you like? I like Tiesto. I think he's got a lot of good stuff. He's got a show too. I don't listen to it as much, but I've been trying to get back into it. Tiesto's great. I love the Crystal Method. I saw, I think his name is Scott. Sorry, I remember, brain fart. He's one of the two. He was one of two. Crystal Method was just two guys, the Crystal Method, and then it became just one guy. It just became Scott, I believe. And I met him once. He just had, it was the last concert or show that I went to before all the shit broke out with COVID. And it was at this great bar that always had a live stage. I should post that, actually. I should post some of the clips I got from that, because I recorded it on my phone, like bits of it, different little sets of his, and man, it was cool. It was a packed house, and it's called Saint Rock. It was down here in South Bay in LA, and it was great. I mean, it was just cool. I love seeing DJs live and hear them mix live. Like, he was doing it there, just like Oakenfold does, and a lot of others. Man, it was just cool to hear some of my favorite songs done in real time with them. And anyway, so I love Crystal Method. Again, it's not all their songs, but a lot of their stuff, and their new album is awesome. I think it's different from their other stuff, but I love it. I remember their classic that everyone got to know was Vegas. If you know that album, I'm sure you know. If you ever saw the show Third Watch, I mean, they were late to the party, but they used Crystal Method. Keep Hope Alive. That's the super famous song by Crystal Method. They use that as their opening theme song for the show, and it worked pretty good. It definitely has this like siren kind of spiking sound to it in there too, which sounds a lot like, you know, it fits well to be like a emergency siren of some type, you know, for like vehicles or whatnot. Who else? I've been finding just a lot of DJs now through Planet Perfecto, through Paul Oakenfold's streams. So he signs a lot of good guys onto his label. I'll have to look up some of the other names because I've been listening to the song so much, but I don't really focus on the names of the artists, but I should. Because I look at some of their stuff, but it's sort of like one-hit wonder-ish kind of stuff, or they might have one or two songs that are really good, and then it's like, then it's nothing for a while. What's the last one that I used one of these in my short little reel that I did for an interview I had came up that I need to actually put together a former reel because I have some pretty kick-ass stuff together now. I think that'll be fun to have with some badass music. All right, Dominant Space. That's a cool one. He did the Multiverse. The Physical Project, but it's not spelled like physical. It's spelled like FISICAL Project. It's almost like phonetically spelled. It's weird. The Physical Project and Costa Pantanzis. It's if you look it up, Infected Mind. That's a good one. The Prodigy. Yeah, duh. I love the Prodigy. The Glitch Mob. There you go. It's been a while. It's been like so zeroed in on different things. Glitch Mob is another famous group that I love. I didn't like their newest album though. I like the one before, Love, Death, and Immortality. Awesome. I was like, man, I want more of that. And then their next album was just, I thought it was a lot of weak sauce. It wasn't as compelling and as exciting as Love, Death, and Immortality. But that's my jam. I mean, otherwise it's like that, and then a lot of soundtracks or 20th century classical or jazz. I'll just find different. I'll find different jazz mixes on Spotify and listen to that. But when I kind of want to get focused and stay energetic, for me, like electronic music kind of keeps that high energy going, but sustained for a long time. And that's how DJs who are good, they know how to create mixes where you ramp up the energy. Maybe you have like a spike of excitement at the beginning or like maybe 1/4 of the way in. Then you kind of have like a long sustained sort of plateau of different tunes that are cool. And then toward the end you have this massive climax of just like really exciting, intense music that sort of like brings everything up to this massive crescendo. And, it's kind of like a plane taking off or something. It's a unique way of creating a certain vibe and energy that you feel when you're listening to it. And it's just always fun if you just really want kick-ass music, just go to the end of any big mix and you'll usually find just freaking awesome music that's pretty intense. Sorry, what am I doing here? I'm trying to do twist because I want to go the other way, I think, right? Yeah, that's the way I want to go. I probably need to turn that down too because I made it a little too strong. Anyway, sorry, I could just talk on and on about music. Christmas is good. The Chemical Brothers. Yeah, the Chemical Brothers, they're okay. I never found anything by them that I was like, yes! It was always just kind of, meh, you know? The 90s were great for electronic. Yes, there was. And there's still some stuff. Try listening to the Shanghai Restoration Project. Huh. Electronic mixes with samples of 60s Chinese jazz. Babylon of the Occident. Alright. Occident. Is an awesome song. Is it meant to say Occident or accident? It looks like the O and the A should be switched, but maybe I'm wrong. It sounds cool. I'll check it out. For sure, the best DJs have solid control of the group vibe. It takes everyone on a journey. Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly. It's like a musical. It's like a musical adventure kind of. It's fun stuff. check them out right now, actually. Why not? Just copy and paste this. Okay, so for the colors, if you guys like the colors, I kind of go for I like a minty kind of look, sort of like sort of like the green you see in Maya. That's what I was looking for actually, because I like the color they have for their mesh. When you select their mesh now, it has a nice. I like the color. So where are we going? Eye colors. So this is the color palette. If you want to steal from that, feel free. You can snapshot that, screenshot it. Yeah, and it's spiral brush. So for those asking about that, you go into here, you could just do, B, S, brush S, and then where's your spiral? It's... Am I missing it? Why am I not seeing it? Yeah, it's right here. Oh, probably because I didn't show it because I have it selected. Duh. But yeah, it's right here. And then you control its direction of rotation by going into brush and then here in twist. If you go negative, it goes counterclockwise, and if you go positive, it goes clockwise. Centrifugal force. I think it's how strong it increases that, if I'm not mistaken. What is it at right now? It's at 0.095. So let's see what happens if we take it up to 1. I'm assuming it's going to be like crazy strong. Oops. Yeah, I think it like pinches the very center point in a different way. I guess, right? Because then if I take this back down to like 0.09... bring it back down. I don't know. I guess that's what it does. I really don't see much of a difference, though, honestly. Do we get a little prompt? Oh, wait, there we go. Say, determines how much of the surface will be pulled or pushed as the twisting is happening. And then you got the orbit radius. Slider controls the fall off of the twist rate. There you go. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, it just helps you get some of these cool shapes, and then I obviously will just sort of smooth them out or manipulate them with the move brush. But I love the I love how you can get this really silky flow with meshes when you use it. I'm probably gonna do some rotation here of stuff too. Maybe like mask off and do some usage of the what's the tool called? The bed curve in the gizmo menu. Thanks. Yeah, I like Babylon of the Occident. It's pretty good. And it's also one of those songs that's like, it's good background music. Kind of just get into a zone. You can just jam to it. It's funny. I remember I was into electronic music back in the '90s, and everyone around me, all my friends or peers, acquaintances, they would often mock me for being into electronic or dance music. I mean, even though it was popular, I mean, they played a lot, like those songs were, a lot of songs were getting popular on the radio at the time. I remember they would still just be like, oh, if you're not into Green Day or, certain bands that were just rock. And I like some of those songs too. I liked a lot of rock too, but they were just, kids are cruel. Freaking high school, junior high. But it's funny how it started really getting popular, I think, in the 90s for sure. It started getting more mainstream in a sense. And that's what got me kind of hooked. I mean, that is just the combination of timing. I think like our generation, if you're in your mid to late 30s, we all grew up with video games and we've seen them mature along with us and become much more like mature and adult and geared for our generations as they're being created by people of our generation and older. But we've seen graphics get better and the content and storytelling games get better and more mature. And along with that, though, I think we all grew up with electronic music from video games because there's no other way for them to put music in there at the time except through synths and that kind of control. And so we kind of all were exposed to electronic music through games, and I think subconsciously that definitely had to have created an acceptance of that potential for appeal in music, in electronic music for us. Of course, certain ones of us were more receptive to it than others. But for me, yeah, it definitely clicked, and it's one of my favorite genres. I was kind of always that kind of kid, though. I didn't really give a crap what people thought. I mean, I did. I hurt my feelings sometimes when I got negative feedback, but I'm just still like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, man. It's like, screw you. Like, whatever, man. Why do I care? Why do I care what your opinion is? I'm not gonna marry you. You're not gonna hire me. It's like, whatever. Jog on. Something to be said about kind of being bullied as a kid and then learning to kind of just rise above it and ignore it. It sort of creates a certain attitude, I think, in a lot of people. You kind of become a little defiant. I think some people get really bitter from it too, which is never good. But I think being able to like just kind of use negative energy in a positive way and just kind of rise above challenges or just prove your peers or your naysayers, your haters wrong. What are those phrases? Those cheesy cliches of like the best way to succeed or the best way to get revenge is to succeed or something, or just let them see you smile. All that, I don't know. You always see girls sharing these little squares with text in them saying positive things, which are all good. They're all true, but I just think it's funny. It's like it's almost a cliche in and of itself. Like, I don't see as many guys doing that for some reason, but every now and then I'll share something. I'm like, this is a good quote. I like this. I'm more of a quote guy more than just random phrases. But there's a lot of truth to a lot of them. I just heard a great quote. I just read it the other day, and I posted it on Facebook, actually. Let me find it for you quick, because it's a good one. What was it? Yeah, come for the ZBrush, stay for the life lessons. What was it? I think it was Theodore Roosevelt who said it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me find it here. Yeah, okay. Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. Love it. It's a good one. So I'll post that in the chat for anyone who needs a little pick me up. There's Teddy Roosevelt for you. Yes, it's funny you mentioned that, Vasquez, because that was what I did like was Eurodance was the subgenre of electronic music, I think. Dude, I was into all that cheesy techno music from the 90s. I loved it. I didn't take it like ultra seriously. I just enjoyed it. I just thought it was fun music. And it was fun. That's it. Period. Yeah, I remember Aqua. Dude, Aqua was hilarious. Hey, Barbie Girl, man. Everyone knows Barbie Girl. I remember The Real McCoy. I remember LaBouche. LaBouche was awesome. They had some... Man, Melanie Thornton, she could sing. She actually was like a legit singer. Amazing. Amazing singer. Sadly, she died in an accident. I think it was a plane accident, if I'm not mistaken. So we had some amazing artists pass away from that, too. I remember Aaliyah. She passed away in the same way. She had a terrible plane accident, I believe. A plane crash. But yeah, the 90s had some good stuff, man. I mean, a lot of it's cheesy now, or some of it is. What was the other band? Ace of Base. I remember that one commercial that made them really more popular after the fact. They were on the radio already, but it was what was it? The Texaco sign. I saw the sign, and it had the like little macaws like singing. They were like puppets. That was great. It was like whoever did this practical effects, I love them. I love animals. I remember like I think I found the guy who made them. I found him on Instagram. I can't remember his name, but the guy who made the Budweiser frogs. If you guys remember the Budweiser, you know, the chameleon, and he made an alligator and all that. I think I found the guy who worked for the studio that made them. The guy who made them for the studio that was hired to do that commercial set. And those are like immortalized puppets, characters. Yeah, old school stuff, man. I miss a lot of the hip hop from then too, though. I felt like the R&B and hip hop then was great, and I feel like we just don't have stuff like that anymore. They don't make it like that anymore, and I miss it because it was fun. It was just good music. It was fun music, and you know, like I remember Mark Morrison, "Return to the Mac." I love that song. Hilarious because people are like, "What song gets you on the dance floor?" I'm like, if someone plays "Return to the Mac," I get on the floor right quickly. I am a cheese ball. I won't lie. It's fun music. It's just fun music, and I miss fun music. You know, it just doesn't feel like there's as much anymore. At least it's not popularized as much, I guess. That's why I don't listen to the radio. I can't stand what the top 40 is usually. I like funny music. I remember Weird Al Yankovic used to do so many covers of different songs, and I always found them hilarious. I always enjoyed Weird Al Yankovic. Wasn't like a huge fan of his, but if he had a funny song come out, I would enjoy it. But I'm all over the place, man. I like all kinds of music, really. Yeah, Aaliyah was awesome. Yeah, she was insanely good. Yeah, Corona made a comeback with Rhythm of the Night. Yep, because of Corona. I know, I was thinking the same thing. I was talking to my one friend about the other day. I was just like, remember that song, Rhythm of the Night? Wasn't that by? And they looked up there, and I'm like, yeah, it was Corona. But I like that song too. That was a fun song. Again, it's a fun 90s techno song. It's good times. I like some cool, like, new jazz too. I mean, like, or like modern. I don't know if you want to call it poppy jazz, because I hate saying the word pop in anything because it just sounds immediately like I have terrible taste. But Pink Martini, they're a great band, and I've seen them live a couple times here in LA. They're awesome. Pink Martini is the ish, man. You should, if you haven't heard of Pink Martini, listen to them. They're good, really good stuff. Excellent singers, excellent musicians, great jazz. And it's accessible jazz. It's songs you know. I'm sure if you've never heard of them And even if I were to name the songs, you probably wouldn't know the names of the songs, but I'm sure you've heard them because they're super famous songs that have been played as either background music or in films and movies and shows. But they're great music. They're such a great band. I love seeing them. They're great. Is anybody out there a Pink Martini fan? I know, right? So many artists end up dying young. 90s hip hop was the best. It was, man. Why don't they make music like that anymore? I don't get it. It's like we need that. We need some positive, happy, fun music in this world. Everything seems so angry now and negative, or just like appealing to the lowest basal instincts of humanity instead of a little bit more just good-natured, I guess. And it's not like I'm saying everything used to be like super wholesome and like rated G or anything, but just more positive, more fun, more playful. I guess that's a better word for it too. Like playful music. You still be talking about whatever, romance, hooking up, dating, whatever. But it should be more playful, not so like serious and angry or like derogatory. I mean, it's like, what do you want to put out in the world? You know what I mean? That's what I look at, and that's why I'm always kind of like. It almost feels like people, whoever's promoting and producing music, it's like they want people to become more angry and more negative. When you listen to what's popular, it's just, or it's or it just sucks. It's just bad quality, and it could be so much better. And it's like, man, how do these people get a record deal? So, like punk rock. That's probably why. Doing a Machine Gun Kelly song. This is good. Return to the Mac was your anthem. That's hilarious. If you joined the dating pool. I'm so dating myself. Hilarious. Gonna texture it? No, I'm not. I'm probably not gonna texture this. I mean, I could add some simple materials like I did with Mufasa in Keyshot. Die Antwoord, old techno trance hip hop. I think I got turned off to them just because I saw them in Neil Blomkamp's movie, and they were just so like just repulsive characters because they make you try to care for criminals, like the bad guys. Because they've got Chappie and in that movie Chappie, which is, I'm sorry to say, a terrible movie. I guess you could look at it as kind of fun, but it's too cringy. It's too just bad, unfortunately. Amazing visual effects, which is still a standard for any Blomkamp film, but story, man, it was just terrible. I thought just cringe horror fest, just ugh. And so because of that, I think I heard one or two of their songs, and it just sounded so chaotic. I couldn't get into it, but maybe I didn't give them enough of a chance. Maybe I should go back and like listen. I don't know. Yeah, so if you guys know any good Die Antwoord songs, let me know. Bong Gadak, thank you. Hi. Feels like, and now it's so safe and scripted, but higher priority on the marketability of the artist instead of music. Yeah, exactly. It's true. I miss music with good stories too, like a lot of older songs, love songs, classic older stuff. They actually told a story, and it kind of, you have a beginning, middle, you have like 3-act structure kind of. You have the problem, you have the focal point, the problem, and the resolution, kind of all that. Like there's storytelling in music. We don't see that much anymore. Like I don't feel like we do as much anymore. It's kind of a bummer. I think like one of the most popular pop artists who I enjoyed, at least one of her semi-recent albums. I mean, it's older now, I guess, right? Because I remember it came out like a year or two before I moved here, I think, to LA. But Katy Perry, she had some good stuff. She had some fun music. yeah, you could say it's cheesy or whatever. It was super mainstream, but it was still enjoyable. It was overplayed for sure, but it was fun. Again, it was fun, positive, funny music. It was just a good. It was good time. It's like good time music. You just enjoyed listening to it. I did. Not all of her songs, of course, whatever, but like Roar had so many decent, fun songs on it. I mean, call me cheesy or whatever, but had some good music. It was like the same year I think that Glitch Mob came out with Love, Death, and Immortality. That was like it was like a rare spike of some good music that was popular in that year. I think it was at 2012 or 2013 or something like that, 2014 around there. That was fun. Again, it's just fun music. But yeah, again, but she hasn't. I don't think she's created anything that was nearly had as many hits in one album as that album has since then. And I think she's changed a lot. Like she's not that chick anymore. But she had fun music, so I was a little fond of her. What else? Let's see how much flack I get for saying that. Daft Punk, yeah, I like Daft Punk, yeah. Not all their stuff either, but I mean, they had some great music, and yeah, their big last album was pretty good, right? They had Gio on there, Giovanni, and then they did the Tron soundtrack, which is phenomenal, I think, because they worked with Hans Zimmer on that too. They collaborated with together, and they made some awesome music for Tron Legacy. Try Banana Brain. It's one of their more raving songs. Banana Brain by Die Antwerp. Is that who you're talking about? Oops. Let me get over here quick. Because they're from South Africa, right? They're a South African band, I believe. Yeah, Daft Punk is great. Biggies, yeah. Yeah, there was just a ton of quality music, like just genuinely good musicians, good storytellers, good artists in the '90s, and we just feel like we don't have that anymore. I mean, they're not being. We have them. I'm sure they're out there. We just aren't hearing them. They're not promoted, because the music industry is corrupt, and it's a mess. I have friends who work in it, and I just hear just how messed up it is and how catty it can be, and just like infighting and just it's just terrible. It's my friends who are in the music industry. I mean, they're legit in all of it, and they've met a lot of the most famous musicians and producers. They tell me just horror stories about it, and how she's told me, she's like, I wish our industry was more like your industry. She says, where it just seems like she was always amazed when she first got to know me about how how helpful it seems like the artist community is with each other, versus like the music industry, which is a lot more just antagonistic toward each other. I'm sure there's alliances and there's friendships and whatever, but she was just saying that the difference is pretty stark between how people work together in the music industry or don't versus the arts. Okay, so I'm listening to Banana Brain right now, and it's interesting. Like there's this beat that's very rapid, and it's not extremely rapid because there's like, if you know happy hardcore, that stuff is like super rapid fire, where it's oppressive, and it's like audibly oppressive, where you're just like, I feel tension. I don't feel like there's any. It's just too much. You know what I mean? It's just like all forcing you too much. And this is like, to me, this beat is close to that. And I'm sure they've done. I forget what the research all says, but like essentially there's like research that says, if you have rhythms and beats that are closer to the heartbeat of a human, or like what's a natural healthy range, that's more appealing than stuff that's a little too fast, or it could be really slowish, can get kind of boring. But something that's too rapid, it's like tachycardia of the heart. It's just like it's like too much. And when I heard happy hardcore like back in the day, when I was looking for more intense electronic music, you know, or I love the Matrix soundtrack. So like Lunatic Calm, they did Leave You Far Behind, which is an awesome song, but that's like it. It's a one-hit wonder, unfortunately. But stuff like that, where it's like hard and intense electronic, and it moves, but it's not too fast, but not too slow. I love that kind of music. Propellerheads, they're another great electronic band. Some of Rob Zombie stuff here and there, but not a lot, really. This is okay. It's all right. It's a little too, like I said, the beat's a little just too fast and consistent for me. It's all right. It's just kind of feels. I don't mean this in a negative way, but it kind of feels like basic literally, like not the coding language, but I mean just like simplistic, you know, techno. Like it's not layered, or there's not a lot of. It's just like up and down, you know. It just feels very binary. There's no flow. There's no mixture of other sounds. It just feels like very. And I guess that works for me in some songs, you know. Like if you go to some of the earlier Crystal Method stuff. Crystal Method has a lot of great albums. Yeah, but this just, yeah, not quite me. Yeah, I think that's why I wasn't a big Die Antwoord fan. It's just we were listening to other stuff in the past, and just like, not quite me, not quite my taste. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the. If you guys remember back in the day, there was this companion DVD to The Matrix. It was called The Matrix Revisited, and it was kind of like just all the behind the scenes, basically, of how they made The Matrix. And I think it gave you a little sneak peek about Reloaded, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, in that DVD, I was a junkie for this in DVDs. Back in the day, I don't know if people still do this now. I don't think they do with Blu-rays, but back in the 90s, or in like the early 2000s, I should say, you would find that there are Easter eggs in a lot of DVDs. So if you were to choose menu options in specific order, you could access other whole menus in the DVD that are secret, right? There's no direct menu to choose. And it'll open up other whole menus with other whole options, other videos, or like in this case, The Matrix Reloaded, it would offer you an entire playlist of all the coolest, like chill, lo-fi, hip electronic music that they use in the background for a lot of their making of. And so they had all these other bands, and I can't remember half of them, or more than half, I can't remember them, but I just remember hearing a lot of that music and be like, man, this is a great playlist, like just a great order of music where it was just chill, and it was fun, and it was, again, like great background music. Kind of reminds me of Shanghai Restoration Project in some ways. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else discovered that menu of the playlist, but I just remember like hearing some really cool lo-fi rhythm, and I was like, man, that stuff is cool. And then I found that there was that menu. I remember watching the documentary first, or the behind the scenes, and then finding out that, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, I wish more movies did that, like DVDs. Like Memento, if you guys have ever seen Christopher Nolan's Memento, which is an awesome movie. If you haven't, you should watch it. There is also a secret way. Memento's Collector's Edition, if you have the Blu-ray, or I mean the DVD, and you open up, the whole DVD opens up with, presents you with like a psychology, like object association test, sort of. And so there's all these different objects, and I don't know what the associations are supposed to be, but eventually you pick certain things, and it brings you to the main menu, and you can play the movie, whatever. But if you choose certain images in a certain sequence, it unlocks the movie to be played in chronological order. As if you know Memento, it plays past, then future, then past and future, dignified or signified by black and white versus color. And then eventually they bleed into each other, right? And then you see how it completely changes the frame of reference of how you understand what happens to the main character, and it really changes your whole feeling about how characters treat him, what really happened, how it happens, and it's a brilliant design. But to see it originally is great. You should watch it in the original, like, staggered order, and then if you have the special edition DVD, you look up the code, put in the code, and you can watch the movie play out in chronological, and it changes, it blows your mind. It changes the whole way you see the movie. For me, it did anyway. Excuse me. So yeah, something else to think about. It was just it was just a different time. I feel like they've changed a lot of those things where I kind of miss some of that stuff, you know. But again, that feels like that's someone who really kind of put some love and attention into like the design of the film and the Blu-ray or the DVD, and you don't see that as much anymore. I don't really think that there's, I don't know, I just don't feel like there's a lot of Blu-rays that have like really special designs and everything, and I don't know, at least not a lot of films I like, they're just pretty basic, you know, just pretty simple, straightforward menus. Sorry, anyway, I've been babbling. Sounds so sick. Gangsta Paradise was the bomb back in the day. Amish Paradise, yeah. I lived in Lancaster County back then too, so I grew up around the Amish. So that song was particularly hilarious to my friends and I, because we saw the Amish all the time. Like, multiple times a day, you'd see a horse and buggy on the road. Weird. But normal to us, because it was a daily thing. The worst is when you're late for work, or you're late for whatever, a meeting, and you're behind a horse and buggy, and there's a line of cars behind the horse and buggy. And you're all waiting to pass the buggy, and some people don't want to break the law by going around them, by crossing over the double yellow line, even though we're on a backcountry road and there's no cars coming the opposite way. Yeah, there's one hardcore person that's like, I'm not going to go around that buggy no matter what. So then the person behind them has to go past them and the buggy, and then that becomes dangerous. So, Amish life for you. What are my feelings about the Matrix? Saying that's an allegory for transgenderism. I feel like they're saying that now because it's popular and they're capitalizing on that. I don't, whether they say that or not. I mean, I never got that from the film, and I think you can get a lot of different interpretations from the films though, because it's all about a character rising up and understanding their true reality, and that can be an allegory for a lot of different things. I mean, you have Buddhism in there, you have definitely Christ in there, you have Christianity in there. I mean, even when Neo, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the third Matrix, when he dies or passes on or whatever, they designed it to look like a cross, like the cross, the symbol of Christ being crucified. There's just so much religious symbolism in there, and philosophy and theology and very Zionistic views. And it's brilliant. I mean, so much of it is brilliantly interwoven, especially the first one, though. The next two, I think, when I've heard them re-explain on Looper, they did a really good job on YouTube, if you ever want to look it up. And they explained the second films a lot better than the films themselves did. I didn't really enjoy the last two. I thought they shouldn't have never made them. They should have just left it with the first one. Or took a lot of time to make a sequel. But I'm sure studios and other executives had a lot of push and pull in that. But anyway, what do I think about them saying that? I mean, they can say whatever they want. They created it. But when it came out, that definitely wasn't the impression anyone got. So I don't know. I think it's a weird thing to say now. It's just out of the blue because it just feels like super convenient to be what's popular. It's you know, it just feels like it's something that's trending right now, and so it's all right. Let's just say it's that now. Whatever. I mean, they can say whatever they want. I don't care. I just never got that from it. It doesn't change my feeling about how much I love the first film. It's a great film. It's a great story, and you know. I don't think it needs to be taken much deeper than what it already... I mean, it's deep enough as it is. Yeah, that's it. I don't think most people got that impression of it, though, either. I think most people just saw the very strong spiritual and religious context and allegory in there. A lot of analogies for different religions, and it's just the classic hero's journey too. You know, I mean, it really is. You know, Morpheus is the old wise man, and Neo as the hero. Trinity is like, you know, just the assistant / love interest. to the hero, but definitely not a damsel in distress. You know, she was definitely a strong leading character. Yeah, I just thought it was an amazing film. I love the first one. I'm sorry if anyone's bored with this. I know this has kind of become a stream of cloud sculpting lately. I'll try not to spend too much more time on the clouds here for the next hour. I'll try to jump on to I don't know. I should probably work on Psyche a little bit here. I've been thinking about what to do because I want her legs a little bit more extended out, and right now they're still kind of they're curled back there. I don't know. I'll get to her in a minute. I get to focus on this too because it's sort of a challenge for me. You know what I mean? Like human form, it's like, well, it's pretty color by numbers kind of thing. You just follow how the joints should lean and how the muscles should relax, and there it is. You know, it's a challenge, but it's nothing like discovering something. You know what I mean? It's human forms are sort of like, this has been so done, but for me, it's like figuring out clouds and how to sculpt this in a beautiful, convincing way and appealing way. That's a fun challenge. It's like the gamification of something. Anyway, sorry, I've been missing a bunch of chat. The music brings straight back from time it came out. Yeah. Matrix was really ahead of its time for sure. One hell of a topic. Death of the author. Amish life. Oh yeah, no, Dougie E. Yeah, their food is amazing. Like it'll give you a heart attack in like a year or less if you just eat just Amish food, but it tastes amazing. Yeah, my God, food Amish. Yeah, they're always nice. They're always super nice people. A little bizarrely stoic at times. I've seen them when I remember one of these guys brought his kid in the ER and his kid's arm was just like demolished by a he went into he crawled into a chicken coop and there's a fan to keep the chickens cool, and the kid just stuck his arm right through the fan and it just like turned everything from the tips of his fingers to like his elbow into like ground beef. It was horrible. I was working with the kid. I was holding what was left of his arm and wrapped. Ugh, it was horrible. And his dad was just, I don't know if his dad was in shock or what, but his dad was just like blank, like just no expression, just like, meh, help the kid, you know, just really nonchalant about it all. And I mean, I don't know. I would just be so overwhelmed with grief and empathy for my child in that kind of moment. The kid was definitely in shock. I mean, the kid was just kind of like not there. But the dad was just, maybe the dad was in shock. I don't know. But I just remember that experience and being like, man, that's weird to be that stoic, to be that, you know, reserved in your emotional reaction for the well-being of your child. in such a traumatic injury. I mean, your kid has lost their arm, basically, or at least from their elbow, their forearm. I don't know. I would just feel horrible for the child. And anyway, so that was just a weird experience. And I'm just like, that's weird. I don't know. But good people, yeah, overall. Super nice people. Yeah, overall, totally. Kind of wish they'd treat their animals a little bit better, though. They run their horses down to, like, they die on the road. It's pretty sad. I feel like they could be a lot more... they could take a lot better care of their horses and not use them as just animals of labor and have no compassion for their living well-being. And it seems like they really just wear down. They wear down their animals like their tools. So that's kind of sad. It kind of bothers me. But still, yeah, all my interactions with anyone Amish or any of my friends who've interacted with them, they've always been very pleasant, very peaceful, kind people. Thanks, Vasquez. It's true. Yeah, things take a long time. I mean, it's like I know people like just to see something quick and short, but I just don't. I don't do a lot of like quick and short little things. I do big. I do grand. I do stuff that takes a while. Exodus, what's up, dude? Anyway. I recently rediscovered the joys of recently meaning like months ago now, I guess, but I'm just thinking about it because I'm like, how many other people are doing this? Not many, I'm sure. At least who knows in this crowd, but this is totally random. But what I'm eating is not just toast; it's cinnamon rolled toast with either blueberries and or raisins mixed in there. It's cinnamon. Oh my god, it's so good. Go to Whole Foods, get yourself a nice loaf of blueberry or raisin infused cinnamon roll bread and then toast that. Oh, it's great. It's like a muffin, basically. It's kind of like a slice of muffin, but it's so good. It's so simple, but it tastes so much better than just regular toast. It's a very simple, casual breakfast side dish or main meal if you just want to keep your calories to a certain level. But anyway, little joys of life. I love being a foodie. I'm kind of before the whole pandemic started, I was way more into just finding new restaurants all around LA. And I miss doing that. But some are still open or in the South Bay here, so friends and I will go there and frequent them to kind of support them, eat outside, their setups. Some great restaurants around here. Some awesome sushi and seafood. And some just good old-fashioned Americana stuff, too. Just, you know, the Kettle is this famous joint down here. That's it's just classic American cooking, you know, but it's good stuff. You get a decent omelet there, or a good sandwich. Amazing turkey burgers. You got Simsies is pretty good too. Fishing with Dynamite is the bomb. If anyone lives near LA, if you want some amazing seafood and just by an amazing chef, David runs the place. Oh man, yeah, the food there is fantastic. It's like almost anything on the menu, you can't go wrong. It's just incredible. And they actually have a really nice setup for their outdoor seating overall. I mean, for what it is, it's nice. You know, J. Arthur's, another good place down here. That's actually where I met Vince Vaughn. For those who know, he's kind of a semi-local here in Manhattan Beach, and really cool guy. Really like him a lot. Really nice guy. I met one of his friends we just started chatting. He just saw me there sitting at the bar, and we started talking, and then his friend, I was like, oh, Vince? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I got to work a little bit in Lion King with his buddy Jon Favreau. And he's like, hey! And then he introduced me to Vince, and then we just started talking and spoke for about like 35, 40 minutes. It was pretty cool. Really nice guy. Good friends, good people around him too. Like, they were all cool. Apparently Zac Efron's another guy around here too. I haven't met him, but a friend of mine invited me to one party, and they're like, hey, make sure not to knock on the house next door, because it was hard to find all these houses on the Strand, just right up against the water, the waterfront of the beach. They're like multi-million-dollar houses, and one of her friends was having this party at their one house, and they said, don't knock on their next, make sure to get to the right house, because the one next to us is Zac Efron's, and he's entertaining people or something, so you don't want to like interrupt them or whatever. I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh, that's crazy. But it's amazing. These houses are insanely expensive. But man, they have a great view. I'm not sure I'd want one though on the Strand personally, because like you have the Strand is like the boardwalk of South Bay of LA, meaning it's just this really long, giant slab of concrete sidewalk where you can run, or there's a parallel where you can bike. But it's like houses, and then right after your back patio or front patio, whatever you want to call it, you just have like a small little fence or divider between you and the general public, and you can just step right over it. And then after the Strand, there's the beach and the ocean. So you're right there on the waterfront basically, but you have to deal with the general public just walking past your house all the time, and that's just it's just weird. I don't know. I wouldn't want to have that much volume of just randos just kind of walking by. It just feels a little uncomfortable. But I mean, yeah, the houses are incredible though. Beautiful houses. But yeah, restaurants, man. I miss going to so many restaurants that can't even be open now. And even like random like cafes, and even mainstream cafes, like there's a not Starbucks, a coffee bean and tea leaf just up the way. I was just dropping something off at FedEx the other day, and there's a coffee bean there. It used to be there. Sign is gone. All windows are all boarded up. It's dead. It's gone. It's sayonara. It's like, man, that's crazy. It's just, I wouldn't expect them. They're like Starbucks. Better, I think, but definitely better. But I didn't think they would just go down like that. I thought everyone needs their caffeine. They still come in for, wearing a mask, or just have it delivered to the sidewalk or whatever. Gone. Shuttered. Sad. I mean, they even took down the sign though. That's the thing. It's like those things are like bolted, into the wall of the structure, and it's pulled down. So I mean, they are shut down. Crazy. I just want things to get back to normal. I'm tired of this lockdown. I mean, at least it's given us time, though, like I said, to focus on other things and pour into other projects, which is great, and research other things. But yeah, I'm ready for us to get back to normal, not the new normal. Screw that. I reject the new normal. Yeah, this is looking bad there. Smooth it out for now. It's interesting how things change when you put on perspective here. So this is orthogonal. We got perspective. We got about a 50 millimeter lens. Nifty 50, as it's known in the industry. Solid, nice middle ground lens. Sorry, I'm missing stuff here. What else do we got? Oh, not much at all. Okay. Work from home for near 5 months now. Yeah, that's a lot of us, man. Or girl, lady, whoever may be. I mean, I like working from home. I've worked from home for most of my time in LA. Well, maybe 50% of my time, I guess, in LA, but that's still a lot. Because there's been a lot of projects I've done from home, and then there's a lot of projects that I've gone to studios for. But still, it's nice just to get out and even have some sort of socialization with just other artists at studios, you know? Even if you disagree on stuff, it's still just like human interaction after a while. We're all designed to be social creatures, and even though I've probably gotten more introverted as I've gotten older, meaning I simply just get my energy more from working on stuff at home and not really needing to just waste time with people who aren't as driven and motivated. It's still nice to go out and just have a drink with friends and meet some other people through them and just laugh and have a good time. And it just feels like so much of that's gone now. And I mean, you still have friends over at your place if you don't, get too loud or have too many. Otherwise, we got our insane mayor just like saying he's going to shut down water and power to people's houses. Like, all right, whatever. That's going to help. This is ridiculous. And I mean, I get the rationale. I'm not ignorant of it. I just think it's a little extreme, and it's like, come on. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Just not have human interaction anymore? Like, how are people supposed to date in this time? I mean, online dating blows. I rejected all that. And so now it's just like, how do you meet somebody? I hate online stuff. It's just like, I don't want to shop for a human being. I want to meet someone in a normal way, naturally. And you can't trust this now. It's like, can they pull this down using those memes where like they're wearing the mask and then they pull it down and then like missing teeth, or it's just like everyone's like, oh, thank God I got married before this pandemic. Thank God I found my soulmate before. Or maybe some people are saying, thank God I got divorced before this pandemic started. It's funny, I was showing my apartment to one of the guy before I decided just to forego having a roommate ever again, and he was a cool guy for sure. He was looking for a place here because I think he's working at Northrop Grumman, which is like this, space satellite company that has a huge building here, a couple buildings actually, just down the road, and we were chatted about everything, and I think he just found some other place that he liked better, which is great, because I'm kind of like, I'm glad I don't have a roommate during this time. It's nice just to be like, yep, solo, living alone. So I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself, but that's the thing. It's like finding roommates through listings and referrals. It's still not the same as having someone that you want to live with. It's just, do we get along enough to live together? Excuse me, to live together or not? And that's what a lot of the roommates are in LA like. Is just you got to find someone else to live with, because it was hard for a lot of us to make ends meet. But it's gotten better over the years here, and so I'm like, yeah, I think it's time, but I'm not gonna be living with anyone anymore. So that's why the room is now a lab. And anyway, yeah. So how do you find the people you want to find, Don't be tired of lockdown, do the film. I know. Just telling you, thousands of people are dying for you to make your movie. Yeah, I'm trying to, exactly, Vasquez. You're right, though. I mean, I'm looking at it like that. It's just, I'm just hammering off one thing after another off my to-do list, and then it's just like getting more and more focused on on my works for sure. So I am looking at it as almost like a blessing in disguise in some ways for sure. It's just frustrating at times. You know, you get cabin fever here and there, and it's just frustrating. But yeah, definitely making the best of it for sure. Like, I'm not someone who is prone to depression or really deep sadness. I can be pessimistic. I can be a little strong realist at times, but I'm not a super pessimist. I try to stay optimistic. Really, I think I'm more of an optimist than a pessimist, but I'm also not blind to reality. I'm a realist, I would say. Realist and optimist mixed together. But anyway, yeah, making the best of the situation for sure. And I'm definitely looking at it as like, it's giving me a chance to really zero in on stuff and get it all done. Actually, I think this should be probably softer because I want the force to be down lower. Dougie, that's hilarious. My mask says on it, world's greatest ventriloquist in training. Black Monolith, thank you. Paula. Sorry, I can't read. 12343, thank you. All political nonsense take place before our eyes. It's above frustrating, yeah. Yeah, I agree. So much of this is political. It's. I mean, if the government cared about our health, guys, come on. I mean, we have so many other bigger killers. That's the truth. Car accidents, drunk driving, the regular flu, tuberculosis. 1.5 million people died from TB last year. That's a very contagious disease. No lockdown, no masks, nothing. I mean, I'm all for people wearing masks when they're sick. I'm definitely all for that, personally. I'm like, I hate it when people are coughing and hacking and coming into the office or any public area and they're just being inconsiderate. I'm like, dude, we should adopt that from what we've seen in Japan a lot and other in Asian countries in general. They seem to be very polite about if you're sick, you wear a mask. Or if you have breathing conditions, maybe the air is too bad, you go to wear a mask to kind of filter out some of the particulates. Although I'm not sure how much it would work for that because it feels like, I guess it works for some to a bit, but it's still like a certain micron level, it's just going to pass right through the mask. Unless you got, N95 with a carbon filter or something that's like really layered. Anyway, I wish we would adapt that more and commonly, and I think it probably will be more commonplace now in this culture. But yeah, I'm just over this whole fear mongering, acting as if everyone in your neighbor has the plague, and I'm sick of seeing some people just look at me as like, I wear a mask where I have to, of course, wherever I'm legally like supposed to, or if you have to go into a store, have to buy something, of course I put on a mask. I'm not trying to be a jerk to anybody, but I'm also not like in a panic mode. I've had a bunch of friends who've caught it, gotten over it, they're fine. Those who are immunocompromised or older, yes, they should be careful, of course. But those of us who are healthy, who've gotten through any other cold or flu before, will most likely be fine with this too. I think a lot of those people who got really sick and deathly ill probably would have been taken down by a regular flu as well. I mean, it's a lot of that same stuff. I'm definitely not against the vaccines at all. I have been vaccinated when I was a child and have kept up on many vaccines. I shouldn't say many, a few, over the course of my adult life. But, it's very different now, I think, the amount of vaccines and what they're putting in vaccines and what they want to give to kids now versus when I was a kid. And then also, I'm not really just the coronavirus vaccine. I'd rather take hydroxychloroquine personally and zinc and whatever else rather than a vaccine that it's just eerie. Just the way that it's just all feeling so forced when, like I said, that other diseases have harmed us far more for longer periods of time and killed far greater numbers of people. And the media just hasn't reported it, but people die every year. Lots of people die every year from the flu and from other diseases and obesity, car accidents. Like I'm saying, there's political motivation behind a lot of this. This is not a public health concern, because if that was the case, things that kill a lot of more people all the time should have been on the radar and should have been like mandated and restricted. And it's you have to be, I think you have to be an idiot to not realize that, like, this isn't Ebola, right? And that's far more deadly. Granted, it's not as easily contagious because it's not airborne, but it's still, it's the survival rate's 99 point whatever, 99.8, 99.7. Everybody survive. Most people survive. So it's like herd immunity makes a lot more sense to me. In my professional medical opinion, as I have had strong medical training, a lot of my friends are doctors and they agree. I don't think that the level of fear and just concern that the media is really just stoking. That's not helping anybody. You know, I'm over it. I'm over it and I'm pissed. Everyone can believe what they want to believe, sure, but I think the facts and the data, we've seen the numbers have been fudged. They were exaggerated, and then they quietly redact them and then release the real numbers or more accurate numbers. It's like, come on, guys. This is politically motivated. This is not anything else. Because then why would they not care about all the other things that kill everybody all the time, that are higher risk, more lethal, more predictable probably too even. So I don't see where the explanation could be for that. You know, it's like I don't see what the counter argument can be that would actually make sense. I'm after truth, though. I'm not after confirmation bias or, you know, having my opinion just be right. I mean, I want truth. I like facts. I like evidence. And right now it just feels like there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that's showing that this is not as bad as it could have been, or they were saying it was. At least not here. You know, it's really not. I think a lot of people are over it. I think a lot of people are pissed, and a lot of us just want to get back to work. And a lot of us don't want any government handouts. We don't want to live off of unemployment or stimulus checks. A lot of us don't want a UBI, just want work. I want to make an honest living. Earn what we get. So we got a couple. See, how do we do this again? I'm seeing some bots in here showing some crap, like just like asking for followers, whatever. How do we block them? I forget how we do this. Where are they? They're on Twitch. It's MJT. There we go. Sorry about that. Do I use Keyshot Pro for ZBrush? Is it supposed to be stuck in full screen? Yeah, I do use Keyshot Pro with ZBrush. It's not supposed to be stuck in full screen. I think you might want to hit F, if I'm not mistaken. Let me open it up now and we can check for you. If I'm not mistaken, I think if you hit F, it changes the framing of things. Actually, we can have a little fun here too. I'll throw this over into there, and I can show you guys a little bit of just how simple it is to use Keyshot and add materials and whatnot. this down. So you want to go into render or external renderer, Keyshot, and then hit BPR. And it will send everything over. Also make sure you don't have things named the same. Your subtools should be all different, I believe. Otherwise you can get confused. All right. And just okay. So let's see here. If you're saying stuck in full screen, I think it was at F. I'm just remember. Yeah. So hit F, and then I'll take you out of like full screen lock-in. Because yeah, normally I want to hit F and it just frames the model you're looking at, but in this case, Keyshot decided that that will be more like the F used in Photoshop, where it kind of changes the whole framing of everything, and it just kind of like fills out your screen in different ways. Yeah. So, I mean, the funny thing is this will probably just be, I mean, it'll obviously be printed in resin, so it'll be, mostly two colors or one color, but I'm thinking, I don't know, I might want it to look like a classic, just more like a classic statue, so it'll probably just all be the same, material. But anyway, Keyshot's, it's super user-friendly, so this is just importing it. This is how it comes in. So if you want to come over here to materials, what do we got? You got your gemstones, those are all clear. We want to do something like a stone. I think they have a marble in here somewhere, right? Yeah. And if you just let your mouse hover over it, it tells you the names of everything. Advanced translucent. So, come scene. And then this is all your subtools. I wish it wouldn't name them the way it does. It imports them from ZBrush, so it calls them ZBrush, blah, 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 whatever. But, whatever. Got to deal with it. So I'm going to take this and just, you can do all of them. I believe it's this way, yeah. And, oh yeah, sorry. Just hit GPU, denoise. And switch over to the GPU, it should be a lot faster. And we can edit this material. So you go over to the materials here, double click on that. And then you come over here and you can choose your different properties. So I'm probably going to go for something a little bit more like a creamy kind of off-white. Because it's like blown out right now too. Go over to environment, and this is your HDRI editor essentially. We can also change the environment. If we come back over here and go to environment, let's choose something. See what this looks like. Nice. Okay, and choose that, and we want to scale this up a little bit. Choose scale here, just pull that up. Say okay. And then we want to snap it to ground, so it feels a little bit more in that actual location. And you can rotate this around. I feel like the high frequency noise here, the way it's patterning, it's a little too, yeah, it's a little too displeasing. And you can also just turn off the background and just have like a color, which is nice. So then if I just chose like give it like a baby blue, nice. So we can edit the material a little bit. And it's the, is it the bump? No, I mean, it looks like it's matched up, but, is this, what are we looking at here? Trying to remember the way to edit the noise, kind of the squiggly lines of the marble. It's been a while since I've done any of that editing. Maybe it's just in the is it the alpha? No. Scale? Something that changes that frequency, but I'm trying to remember. Oh, vein thickness. Here we go. So then if we make that bigger, vein noise scale. Sorry, I'm missing stuff. Vasquez, you're right. Yeah, the whole thing about getting a piano dropped on you. Yeah, hilarious. What do I think is the solution? Herd immunity. Huh, can't resize the window at all. Death Star Kitty, that's weird. Yeah, something may be wrong. Yeah, Vasquez, that's a good question. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that's a good point. Actually, making them too complex may draw the eye away. I'm still gonna up the complexity a bit though on like his wings and whatnot. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to figure out how to get this material to comply. So these are the veins, right, of the marble, and I kind of want to decrease their frequency because they're just too high frequency right now, and trying to figure out how to do just that. And I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not so easily accessible for some reason, or if I'm missing something. Well, clearly, I'm not in the right place, but. Maybe this is it. It's a combination of these two. Yeah, because now it looks like it's really increasing it. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, alright. Alright, this is it. Well, it's increasing the noise, but then it looks so... Okay, there we go. I think that's getting more toward the direction I was looking to go. Yeah, so here we go. This is the scale. It's weird, it's cutting off the word there. It's like cutting off C-A-S-C-A-L, no E. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it's a matter of selecting those two textures and then cranking up both of their scales, because, yeah, I want this to be more spread out, not so tight and just repetitive. Just as a, I mean, this is just more for future reference. Obviously, this is not at all final or anything. It's just kind of getting the right feel for the materials. I haven't rendered a lot in Keyshot in a while. I mean, I've rendered other things in the past, and it's usually fairly simple. It's just like one character in an environment, or with just a custom HDRI map, and then I'll, you know, layer things in Photoshop or whatever afterwards. But yeah, so I've sort of needed to experiment more here anyway, so this has been good. It's just always good to see it in different light too, and like more, you know, physically based light. Kind of just gives you an idea of what things will look like in the real world. But I think the white is still, it's just too strong. Just getting blown out by the HDRI map lighting. Come on, hello. Oh wait, does it, if I turn that off? Whoa, too yellow. Because I keep thinking about the original one of the Louvre, and it's quite yellow. It's a quite yellowed marble. It's probably just from age, though, I guess. I don't know. Alright, did I just turn that off altogether? Interesting, because it had the textures and the color. Maybe that was like a mask, I guess. Yeah, either way. Nothing too crucial right now. That's the vein color. Alright. It's amazing that the noise filter with the GPU, man, it just really renders quickly. It's gorgeous. Interesting. Sorry, I don't mean to bore anybody. Just thinking, and also noticing. Oh man, that's okay. Now I see the striations there. The texture of the veins. Yeah, I think it's because I deleted that color map here. If I reduce it, you see that, yeah, it's like super. Super clear. Oh well, again, it's nothing permanent. It's interesting, the veins kind of ruin the face a little bit. Looks like he's bleeding out his nose or something. Let's get a closer look. Yeah, the veins definitely they mess up the face. Yeah, that'll be something I'd have to like edit in the texture, I guess. Interesting. But it's cool. It's great just to be able to see this in from a real camera lens and get this kind of perspective. That's pretty cool. Different angles. It's just helpful to see too, because how certain things can be adjusted even just a little bit might change how certain renders can come out. And just like where you can window certain things, like you can see her right there, and yet still have his dynamic pose kind of, and you really feel the eye kind of all leads. You see first like her face probably, and then you kind of get the flow of the wings, and you see the curl. And it's just cool. It's cool to be able to see things like this and move around a bit and just kind of get a feel for what the piece will look like when it's done. Anyway, sorry, I've been missing. What else did I miss in the chat, if anything? Thanks, guys. Thanks for the kind words. Kids, pay attention. Don't give in to the pressure of working without direction. Bugging me for days, but I solved it. My image height was too large and it messed up the window for some. Oh, okay, Death Star Kitty, got it. That's interesting. Okay, sorry, I didn't really didn't think to tell you that. Oh, there we go. All right, what's going on here? Interesting. What does up and down do exactly? What am I changing? My elbow or my arm just bumped the arrow keys. It seems like it's affecting the brightness of the HDRI map. It's actually kind of cool. Or is it rotating it? What is it doing? Yeah, that's the brightness. There it is, yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah, decreasing it almost feels like you got sunset going on. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's always good. I mean, I'm not sure if that's what you're trying to infer, Vasquez, but it's I feel like it's always helpful to kind of take stock and step back for a second and kind of look at where your piece is, especially through like a real lens. Just kind of feel it out, see what could be improved, what can be changed. And getting some real physically based lighting on this helps a lot too. It's just how the shapes will flow and what it'll look like when it's printed. Of course, this has got like a high gloss on it, which you could do with a nice clear coat or two on a print. You can get some really silky smooth prints off of the Form 3 already, but then if you just apply like a nice coating on top, man, you can definitely get this kind of look. I think you could even really get this really looking like this with just the white resin, and then taking a really fine brush and just painting the veins of the marble very delicately, taking your time, and then coating it with like a clear coat varnish kind of thing. Just a nice, super clear coat, crystal clear. I think you could get it really close. You could fake the marble, I think, actually. And maybe I'll try doing that, because it feels like that'd be a cool challenge to print something that looks like real marble, and yet it's resin. That'd be cool. All right, well, I think we're just about at time, so I'm probably not going to do much more work on this at the moment. Sorry it wasn't super exciting, but hopefully a little educational. I'll keep going on this. And this week, I'm making the vow that I'm going to do something, stream something on my channel, whether it's a game or a personal projects like this. But I'll do something on my YouTube channel this week for sure. So, because my next stream with Pixologic won't be until, I think, next Sunday, or let me look at the calendar quick. I'm doing Sundays and Tuesdays now. What is next Sunday, the 16th? Yeah, no, I'm on the 23rd. So my other stream, yeah, it won't be until the 23rd and the 25th. So, excuse me, I have the whole 2 weeks here of time off from this stream. So I will try to do something this week. Today's Sunday, yeah. All my days are bleeding together, man. I feel like today should be Saturday. But it's not like it's any different. They're all kind of the same right now. It's all kind of like, it all connects. You're going to stream finally? Yeah, I will. I vow it. I promise I will do it on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to keep up with all the goings-ons, you can follow me on Instagram, where I usually announce whatever I'm going to be doing online. So it's Daniel Lion Arts on Instagram. And yeah, Twitter does, whatever. For those who want to follow me on Twitter, you can if you want. But I'm trying to grow my Instagram following. Would definitely be helpful. That's Twitter. Yeah, so that's pretty much where to find me. Vasquez, what was your last thing? You said my life drawing teacher would grab us by the shoulders and pull us back when we were working. Really helped to keep us from developing horse blinder. Yeah, in short, yeah. It helps to look at what you're doing. Yeah, it's true. It is true, very much so. And I think, like, as you saw, I kind of got in the nitty gritty here with the like this area right here with the clouds. I just started getting into it, but I really kind of wanted to flesh out something that just felt like billowing poofiness, like puffing clouds kind of pulling out dust. So anyway, yeah, I think it's coming together. It's coming together. It's just figuring things out still kind of, it's the blocking in phase for the base basically now, as I think their poses will not change much. Her legs will be extended down. Like I said, I might drop the floor, I might lower the stone a bit, so that might just mean that the areas of the dust clouds that are In the center, will just be lowered a bit too, but I'll leave the outside areas and his wings kind of where they are. But yeah, that's probably the extent of it, really. At this point, I don't think their poses will change too much. I think I'm going to drop her elbow a little bit more. Or maybe pull her arm out a little bit so it's more like she really feels like she's being pulled up, so she's not sort of just at this weird angle, but more like her arm is, you know, just extended out. I mean, downward, but diagonal out. Yeah. So, we're getting there. But yeah, so anyway. Yes, everybody take care. Oh, Exodus, my YouTube channel is Daniel Line Arts as well, so YouTube. So if you search for me that way, let me just make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, that's me on YouTube. Yeah, and like I said, I'll announce on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'll let everybody know ahead of time when I plan on streaming, and or what else is gonna happen. So I have some cool stuff coming up. Some of it, all of it, I can't really say anything about yet, but there are cool projects that I'm personally invested in and that I'm excited about. So stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram, please. And yeah, I hope everybody stays well and make the best of the situations. So, yep. Thanks, everybody. Take care, and we'll stream again soon. Bye-bye.